If you are over the age of 70 and you continue to engage in these 6 activities, you are well on your way to living a long and healthy life. What if there was only one straightforward decision that may determine whether or not you live to be 90 years old? There is no guarantee that the genes you were born with or whether you have always adhered to a diet that is perfect will determine your final weight. In point of fact, there are a few straightforward things, some of which can even appear to be unremarkable, that truly indicate a body and mind that are designed to last for a long time. If you are beyond the age of 70 and are still able to perform these activities, there is a significant possibility that you are on the path to living to the age of 100. This movie does not contain any magic tricks or promises that are impossible to keep. Indicators that are tangible and observable that your body, brain, and spirit are aging well and that you are doing a great deal better than you might imagine are what this is all about. A lot of people have the misconception that the 1970s represent the beginning of the end. But this is not even close to being accurate by any means. The 6 signals that are shown here are not only reassuring, but they may perhaps take you by surprise. Continue to be with us. This is because the information that you are about to hear has the potential to alter the way that you think about your own health, the process of aging, and the possibilities that lie ahead in the years to come. First and foremost, maintaining regular sleep patterns. Although there are many daily routines that subtly impact our destiny, sleep is one of the ones that is underappreciated. It is not just the quantity that you receive, but also the consistency of it. In the event that you are above the age of 70 and yet manage to get to sleep and wake up at approximately the same time every day, you are sending a powerful signal of stability to your body. Furthermore, this consistency has a significant impact on both your health and your survival rate. When sleep patterns are consistent, the body is able to maintain a more robust immune system, more regulated hormones, improved memory retention, and less inflammation. Each night, it is as if you are providing your body with an opportunity to recover, reset, and rewire itself. It is possible to gradually deteriorate both one's physical and mental health if one engages in behaviors such as tossing and turning during the night, staying up too late, waking up at unusual hours, or having insomnia. Moreover, it raises the probability of developing cardiovascular disease, diabetes type 2, and possibly cognitive impairment when it comes to seniors. However, those who make rest a priority and respect their natural sleep cycles frequently discover that they have more energy, sharper thinking, and fewer mood swings. Take, for example, Gerald, who is 85 years old and insists on going to bed at 9:30 p.m. since he was 60 years old. He claims that he has not missed it, and he attributes his continuing ability to walk, cook, and keep up with his grandchildren to the fact that he takes it. He does not take many naps during the day because he is able to get a lot of rest during the night. Although his schedule is not rigid, it is reliable, and this is the most important aspect. When your internal clock is operating without any hiccups, the rest of your system functions in harmony with it. It would appear that you are doing something very well if you are the type of person who wakes up feeling refreshed on a regular basis, and who does not require the use of caffeine or extended naps in order to make it through the day. Maintaining a regular schedule of sleep is more than just a healthy habit. When you do this, you are making a silent declaration that your body is still working with you, rather than against you. Second, maintain a steady pace when walking. There is not a single laboratory report or medical record that contains a predictor that is shockingly accurate in determining how long a person will live. The way that they walk is a clear indication of this. Even after you reach the age of 70, the speed and consistency of your walking pace can disclose more about your future than a great deal of fancy testing. It has been demonstrated time and again by researchers from reputable institutions that elderly people who walk at a steady and quick pace tend to live substantially longer than those who shuffle or slow down. It is not about racing or sprinting at this point. Rhythm, coordination, and self-assurance in movement are all essential components. Keeping a steady speed when walking indicates that your brain, heart, lungs, and muscles are all functioning in sync with one another. It's a very unusual compromise. Take for example Linda, a retired educator who is 77 years old and still goes a few streets each day to see her neighbor. Not only are her steps strong and confident, but they are also not hurried. When she is at a curb or a wall, she does not hesitate or cling to it. The speed at which she walks shows both her physical and mental level of alertness. On the other hand, when a person's steps become unsure, it is frequently the first indication that something more fundamental is wrong. Whether it be with circulation, brain function, or balance, a significant number of medical professionals silently evaluate a patient's gait before they ever speak. Because it is so revealing. If you are beyond the age of 70 and you are still walking with vitality and purpose, you are demonstrating that your body has not given in to the process of aging. Not only is it prospering, but it is also adapting and responding. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Mental involvement on a daily basis comes in third. A mature citizen who continues to keep their mind active through habit and curiosity possesses a certain power that is not immediately obvious. People who are above the age of 70 who continue to engage in activities such as solving puzzles, reading novels, keeping a journal, learning new skills, or even playing brain-training games on their mobile devices are doing more than just passing the time. They are extending their lives. Your brain is shielded from the rapid degradation that often begins in the 7th or 8th decade of life when you engage your mind in activities that are similar to a protective net. In a study that compared mentally active seniors to those who do not routinely push their wits, researchers discovered significant disparities in cognitive decline, mood stability, and even survival rates over a period of 10 years. As an illustration, consider Frank, who is 81 years old and writes one haiku every morning. Although it is only 3 lines long, he does it because it helps him maintain his mental agility, his language fluidity, and his feeling of purpose. In addition to being poetic, that is also preventative. When the brain is not being utilized, it does not just rest, rather, it withdraws. When you give your mind a little bit of work every day, whether it be through crossword puzzles or conversation, you are keeping those pathways lighted up. Neurons lose their spark, and pathways get weaker. It is not the difficulty of the task that is important, but rather the consistency of the work. Having a mind that is curious is a live mind, and a living mind provides the body with a cause to continue moving forward. Senior citizens who make learning a part of their lifestyle, even if it is only a small portion of their lives, not only retain information, but they also retain time. Significant social connections come in at number 4. The existence of meaningful interpersonal connections is one of the predictive factors of lifespan after the age of 70 that is underappreciated the most. If you are someone who still takes pleasure in having genuine conversations, whether with members of your family, friends, or neighbors, you are not only nourishing your heart, what you are doing is protecting your life. Seniors who have strong social bonds tend to live longer, experience fewer falls, recover from sickness more rapidly, and report higher levels of happiness with their lives, according to studies conducted on cohorts of people who have been aging for a longer period of time. To defend against isolation, which has been related to cardiovascular stress, cognitive impairment, and even premature death, social involvement functions as an invisible shield, shielding against the negative effects of isolation. Consider the case of Joan, a 78-year-old woman who organizes a weekly soup night for the people who live in her apartment complex. Although she claims that it is nothing more than soup, the reality is that it is a ritual that helps a group of people remain connected, appreciated, and cognitively sharp. The kind of emotional sustenance that can be created by laughter over a meal, A phone call that finishes with, "I love you," or even just a walk with a buddy at the same time is something that cannot be replicated by any supplement. Connectivity is hardwired into the human brain, and as we get older, the need of maintaining these connections only grows. As a result of our social links, we are able to feel resilient since they provide us with identity, structure, empathy, and purpose. It is not the case that a senior citizen is aging quietly when they continue to seek out and appreciate connectivity. It is through their engagement in life that they are able to live a long life. And this participation is the secret ingredient. I would appreciate it if you could use the fourth comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. 5. A natural curiosity for the world. To live a long and healthy life, it is not enough to just maintain a healthy heart and flexible joints. It's about giving your mind something to do in the real world. Seniors who have a real sense of curiosity about the world, whether it is through reading, exploring new hobbies, acquiring a new skill, or simply asking questions, tend to live longer and experience more joy in their lives. In this context, intellectual showmanship is not relevant. It is about having a mentality that continues to look forward, that continues to hope that tomorrow may bring someone or something that is completely new and significant. The fact that you are over the age of 70 and still willing to study sends a strong message to your brain that it is still required to acquire new knowledge. In addition to the dopamine joys that come from making even minor discoveries, this mental engagement helps to keep brain connections active, which in turn slows down the aging process. Take, for example, Harold, who is 82 years old and began cultivating bonsai plants after the death of his wife. As far as he could remember, he had never used a pruning shear in his entire life. However, he now has 5 little pines flourishing on his windowsill. It is his assertion that they provide him with something to anticipate, something to care for, and someone to converse with. It's the power of curiosity at work. The concept that life is still full of meaning that has not yet been discovered is reinforced, while at the same time it opens the door to new relationships, eliminates anxiety, and gives one a sense of purpose. Curiosity functions as a subtle yet persistent barrier to stagnation, and stagnation is the point at which the process of aging happens at its most rapid pace. You are nourishing your spirit and educating your brain to remain attentive, nimble, and alive if you are someone who still enjoys knowing how things function and who takes pleasure in asking what if or why not. Even if it is frequently unseen by other people, that light burns brightly and for a long time in individuals who live the longest. It's the 6th point, grip strength. The strength of your hands, and more specifically your grasp, appears to be one of the markers that you are on track to live a long life. However, the majority of individuals fail to recognize this fact. Studies conducted at prestigious medical institutes have demonstrated that grip strength has a direct correlation with the overall health of the muscles, the function of the cardiovascular system, and even the aging of the brain. It is not enough to simply open a jar that is difficult to open or to hold onto a handrail. Also, it is important to consider what that grip symbolizes. The fact that you are still able to squeeze firmly after the age of 70 is an indication that your nervous system and muscles are operating together in harmony, and that your body has not yet developed the kind of frailty that gradually develops over the course of time. In addition, having a solid grasp is linked to improved mobility as well as a quicker recovery from illness. Take, for instance, Robert, who is 82 years old and assists his granddaughter from time to time in carrying in the groceries on the weekends. Once, his physician informed him that his grip strength was measured greater than that of some men who were 20 years younger. This kind of strength is not something that just happens by chance, rather, it is something that is developed via regular use, modest strength training, and maintaining an active lifestyle. A mindset of independence and self-reliance is also reflected in it, which is a deeper aspect of the situation. It is not a trivial matter whether you are still able to open bottles without the assistance of others or by making use of objects found about the house. This serves as a potent indication that your body's internal engine is still operating at a high level. At this age, a firm handshake is not only polite, but it also conveys a sense of promise. I would appreciate it if you could use the 6th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Now, let's proceed with our plans. Lastly, some thoughts. It is simple to underestimate the impact of insignificant things, particularly after the age of 70. However, the reality is that living a long life does not require superhuman power, excellent diets, or the ability to avoid becoming sick. As long as your body, mind, and spirit are still in harmony with life, it is important to pay attention to patterns, signals, and everyday indicators. The 6 indicators that we have discussed today, which include your grip strength, your walking pace, your mental engagement, your social connections, your curiosity, your sleep routine, and your capacity to maintain flexibility, are not simply checkboxes. They are reflections of a life that is still continuing to develop. Continue to make choices, and continue to move forward. If you find yourself in even a handful of them, I want you to know that you are not merely growing older, rather, you are flourishing from the inside out. There is no such thing as a long-term fantasy. This is something that you are already constructing on a daily basis. Thus, you should be proud of what you are still capable of doing, and you should not allow anyone, your age, your aches, or your uncertainties to convince you differently. We appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.